What's goody to the gods? What's popping to the people? I know y'all like he on time at 6 o'clock sharp. See y'all see that? I'm on point today. Now watch y'all don't get hit to 6:15. I ain't got that much drink. I ain't gonna make it to 6:15. I'm telling you that now. Peace, God. What's up, Sean? Hey, I shocked the shit out you at 6 o'clock, didn't I, boy? You ain't think I was gonna be here that early. Ah. What's going on, guy? You been out in that rain? You got caught up out in that rain today, man? What the fuck? Where's Bane at, man? Inbox Bane. That brother told me in March it was gonna be smooth sailing. Yeah, inbox that brother, man, and tell him I want to check his temperature. Hey, Capone, peace, God. What's happening, man? You finally come up here to rock with your boy one time. Yeah, inbox him and see where he at, man. Tell her it's a crocodile looking for him. Hey, yeah. Hey, you know what though? I will say about you, Capone. You pop in when you pop in, but you always pop in on a good night. Tonight gonna be a doozy. You always pop in on a good night, boy. Tonight gonna be a Buck. What's up, God? Yeah, tonight gonna be a banger. Cause I be doing once a week I do questions. And what it is the people who attack my inbox and tell me I'm going to hell and call me an atheist and all that, I read their questions and then I answer them. They be trying to catch your boy up like I ain't really cut with this information. So, but I just read the questions. The questions kind of fire though, so that's why I say it's gonna be a good one. Where the hell Buck go? Buck, we finna get your ass politically correct. Get back in here. Buck, get back in here. This shit ain't just rap no more, Buck. Nah, I fuck with Buck though, man. Peace, God. Peace, peace, peace. Hey, what? Oh my dog. It took this long for my dog to come rock with me. Blue, come on now. We been at this thing almost a year. You just not coming to rock with your boy, man? What? Peace, young God. Darius, peace, young God. Hey, y'all, that young guy right there is brilliant, man. He young, but he brilliant. Hey, but peace, Queen. This I'm gonna keep it real with y'all though. Tonight gonna be fire, cause this the questions night, and the questions was kind of, they were some real live questions. A lot of times, and they always be trying to fire at me with big pistols, but it's cool. So we decent in here. We finna get right to it. This and then I'll be showing y'all too, so you know this. I don't be making this shit up. These be the real. It be they work. And then you see he put the caps on me too. So then the first question is, he say, in your last live you said the Bible was anti-African, but then you said all the stories taking place in Africa. So how does that even make sense to you? Now, what make it funny is when he put the all caps on, how does that even make sense to you? And then he put the emoji. So look, here's the thing right here. This is a crazy ass question. I really don't even know where to start. I kind of thought about it, but I be trying not to really think about it before I get to y'all because I want to freestyle. So I start by saying the very beginning of the fucking book is anti-African. If you pay attention, Because how the fuck you gonna tell me that the first people was made in God's own image, tell them to go be fruitful, and then you turn around and give me some shit about Adam and Eve being the first people? What happened to the first motherfuckers? See, that's what I'm saying. Like, the people, they be listening to pieces of the lecture, or they come in at a certain spot, hear something they don't like, and then they develop an opinion and get up out of there because it's like, but if you really think about it, I broke this down the other night. Everything started in pitch black, according to y'all scriptures. Peace, Queen. According to what it say everything started in pitch black. We broke this down before. So if everything started in pitch black, when you look up into the sky at night, let's say we had a telescope. If you looked up through a telescope and you looked into the sky and you seen pitch black, you would also see stars, clouds, and all that shit. And if you was really looking like into outer space, you're going to see planets, stars, moon, all that shit. But it's all surrounded by what? Pitch black. So, pitch black is creation. That's where all creation starts from. It said everything started from the darkness. The good book tell you that. But this is science. And where does the first people on the planet was found? The first people on the planet was found in Africa. So, that means if that book says that the first beings that God created in his own image, and he told them to go be fruitful, those people would have had to been in Africa. Those people would have had to been Africans, because the beginning of the shit takes place in Africa. But now, the second creation, he said he molded from the dirt and blew breath into him. That didn't come directly from God. So, why they tell you that's the first creation? Can you say this is the first hint of anti-Africanism? Okay, let's take it a step further. Even part of the conversation that he talking about in the first place, I was talking about Noah. Okay, if we just established that the first creation would have had to been Africans, okay, we also know that first creation pissed God off and he drowned them all. So the first inhabitants of the planet that we have established would have had to been Africans. According to the Bible, God got mad and drowned them all. Which the reason why he did it is weird, but whatever. Okay, so if that's the case, now we got this story of this guy with this boat. Now, y'all like to say that Noah is black. I beg to differ. And the reason why I beg to differ is because, according to the scripture, where the boat lands at is the Caucasus Mountains. So if God had a boat full of black people, why would he let their ass off in the middle of the freezing fucking Caucasus Mountains when no black people come from there? Because the Caucasus Mountains is where Caucasian people come from. So, if Noah drove the boat to the Caucasus Mountains, and that's where God stopped him at and let his family out at, and told them to go multiply, you wouldn't tell black people to go into the freezing fucking Caucasus Mountains and find some kind of way to multiply. You would just not, like. So therefore, according to your scriptures, you would have to deduct that Noah is probably a white guy with a white family. Which makes this story even more fucking weird, because the next part is creepy. Because then you're going to tell me that one white guy, according to my analysis, until you can show me where a group of Africans landed in the Caucasus Mountains and lived for a while, if you can't show me that, then I'm going to have to go with what science and history tells me. So, for the sake of this discussion, one white guy, a wife who I'm not sure what color she was, and but maybe she was African, but somehow they made 3 different children, and each one of those children represent 3 different nationalities. Okay, let me say this again. They made one white guy with one album, because I want you guys to win, kinda. I'm gonna say he had a black woman, and they made children. But somehow, mysteriously, this white guy and this black woman had 3 kids, and they're 3 different nationalities. You got Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Now, here's the anti-African part. The Bible says Noah had 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Now, Ham is African. Shem is Middle Eastern. And Japheth is European/Asian. This what your book say. Y'all read this weird shit. I just, like I hashtag all the time. I'm just a messenger. So, now, according to the Bible, Ham is cursed. Shem is kind of cursed. Japheth is highly favored. So, according to the Bible, Africa is Ham and they're cursed. No doubt about it. Shem is Middle Eastern and they're kind of cursed. And Japheth, which is Asian and European, they're highly favored by God. And it says that Japheth will enslave Ham. And Shem will enslave Ham as well. And Shem is allowed to be friends with Japheth. So, when you fast forward to the world you see today, you see Middle Eastern was the first people to ever enslave Africans. That would be the Arab. Europeans was the second. And as the world stands, they're like best fucking friends, dominating all of us with gold cars and statues and shit. This is what your book say. And this is the way the world is. So apparently God approves of the way the world is. And the reason why, but here's the weird part. Here's the weird shit. If none of this is weird to y'all, here's the weird shit. Let's hear how Ham got cursed. This shit is always funny every time I tell it. It's fucking hilarious. So Noah, who is God's chosen, who God has chosen with to save humanity, gets to shore. And somehow he ends up buck ass naked, drunk. And his son finds him. And he curses his grandson. So he gets mad that his son caught his freaky ass drunk naked. And then went, instead of, I don't know what he was supposed to do. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know, because this has never happened to me. But somehow it happened. And the little boy went and told on his ass, like, Pop's being freaky. I don't know what he owned, but he dancing naked and shit. And I don't know, but whatever. So the sons go back and cover his nakedness. And he wake up and found out that the little boy told on him while he was butt naked. So he told the little boy, curse your grandson. Basically, curse your son. So he cursed his grandson. Somebody who ain't even born yet and don't got shit to do with this. I know y'all getting confused because this is a dumbass story and I'm confused and I'm telling it. So, but this is the shit y'all believe in and y'all subscribe to. So what I'm saying is this right here. Because Noah got drunk and his freaky ass got caught doing whatever by his son, somehow he cursed his grandson. God rode with that weird shit, and now Africans ain't shit and will be enslaved. I summed it up for you. I paraphrased it, but that is exactly what it says. If that's not an anti-African message, then I don't know what the fuck is. Anybody ever seen the movie Hotel Rwanda? Well, if you haven't, don't worry. I haven't either. But I know the real story. And that Rwanda shit was a true story. And that was the British came into Rwanda with the Bible, converting people and shit. And then they taught these two families that already don't really get along with each other, but they was working it out. They taught them, one of y'all is Ham and one of y'all is Shem. Peace Queen. The Bible is instruction for white male dominance, not actual creation literature. It's definitely some white male dominance in there, but the Bible is multidimensional. It's doing so many things you wouldn't believe. It's tampering with sexuality. But at its core, it's a control mechanism. But it's a global control mechanism. The whole world bows down to the Bible. This was a carefully constructed thing that's been going on for a long time. And that's why we got to pull it apart and see what's really at the core of it. So yeah, we could say all kind of shit. But when you get down to it, like when you say white male dominance, the reason why you got to heavily agree with that, because when you look at the conquest, I touched on this the other night. When you look at the conquest of the Israelites, and this is what the Israelites, this is what's weird with me about this whole Israelite shit. When you look at the conquest, those are all African nations that they're destroying. And God is sanctioning it. And the instructions by God is brutal. Go down there, kill everything. All girls that are virgins, you and your soldiers can keep for yourself. Everything else you can kill it. What the fuck kind of message was that from God? And how the hell y'all sat in church talking about, yeah, pastor? You're absolutely correct. No, you should not take it literally. And that's exactly why we're doing this. But see, now another thing is this right here. The reason why I don't want to say, the reason why we can't dismiss it, Queen, is because of this right here. It's their hand guide. It's their handbook. It teaches them, peace, God. It teaches them exactly what they're supposed to do for the generations to come. So how do you think you can rule for 400 plus years if you don't have written instructions? The Bible is their written instructions telling them what the people before them did to get it to this point and what they're supposed to do in the future to maintain the structure. So it has to be analyzed and decoded, because not only do you get the history aspect, there's also a science and metaphysical aspect to it that a lot of scholars don't deal with and that we really need to heavily touch on. There's a lot of metaphysical, like for instance, when you're dealing with the Garden of Eden, I broke it down in a physical aspect, but there's also a mental aspect where really the Garden of Eden is talking about your brain. Because when you talk about the serpent deceiving you, the serpent is just AKA for your reptilian brain. That's your lower level thinking. It's just like when you say Satan. Satan is not a physical. The devil is not a little man with red horns. It's an energy. So when we understand that part, everything is mental. So none of this shit is really to be taken literal. You got to understand the literal part of it, but then you got to get the science too. The Bible got some deep science to it. So you really got to deal with that part of it because you'll miss out. If you deal with the Jesus resurrection story, that is the winter solstice. So when you hear that whole story about Jesus died and rose on the third day, and when you hear Jesus walked on water, all you got to do is look at the winter solstice, and it'll break all that down on how the sun walks on the water at a certain part of the year, on how things rotate seasonally. That's all the resurrection story is. Jesus is not a physical person, and nobody's ever been able to prove that. None of the characters in there can you prove. And I had a debate with somebody on that. The only one that I might give you is King David, possibly. And we really still have to do a little shadow boxing about it. But I might give you that. But everybody else, you can't prove none of them people. So you're right, Queen. But we still can't overlook it because we got to study it. That book got so many answers in it, it's ridiculous. That's why I ride on it all the time. First, we got to tear it down and pick it back up. So when people say that I'm too negative, I'm building down walls, and you got to do them harsh. We're hard-headed people, man. So sometimes you got to come aggressively and tear shit down, but then you got to rebuild it back up and understand that there is a lot. When I say a lot, like, tell you like this right here. The two most important things on this planet to study, if you want to know what's going on with this world, study biblical history and ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet. Kemet, Egypt, same thing. But, if you don't know, Egypt is what they used to call, Kemet is what they called Egypt way before. So if you study ancient Kemet and you study biblical history, them two things alone will lead you to everything else. You go get off into science and all kind of other shit. People hate science. So then you lose a lot of people when you get to the science shit. But you gotta fuck with the Bible in that aspect because there's so much in there. So just that alone right there, to answer the brother question, they classified nations off of the Bible, and we fell for it. This world is broken up into three actual components, just like the Bible dictated. And those components are doing exactly what the Bible said they would do. That doesn't make the Bible mystical. That means the people who wrote it made it happen, and we watched it. We participated because we was too busy believing in the fucking stories. So with that being said, there's all type of anti-African shit in that Bible. You can beat your slave, you just can't kill him. That's anti-African in the motherfucker. The fuck? The fact that you gave that shit to Africans was anti-African. The fuck? The whole thing, the whole process, and everything about it. So with that being said, I'm almost positive I answered that question. Anybody still confused on it, I don't know what to tell you. Peace to everybody in the chat room. Please, pretty please, with sugar on top. Can y'all please share this if you're feeling the information? Y'all be showing love with the like and all that. I love it. But if y'all could, please share this. We need to get this out because we're moving to YouTube in about a week. But with that being said, I'm pretty sure I answered that first question. I'm finna answer the next one. This is the I need answers. This is my question segment. So I answer questions out my inbox, and y'all can ask anything. It don't matter whether it's aggressive. As long as you be respectful, you can ask anything. If it's something you want to know, or is it something you think I'm misinformed on, whatever the case may be, it's open to ask me anything. But until y'all do, I'm going to get to this next question, because this next question, this brother was real intelligent, and he semi-tried to go in on me. So if I wasn't sharp, this question to have me dead meat. I'm telling y'all that right now. If I was Peace, Queen. That's my sister, y'all. If I was pump faking and I wasn't really on my information game, this question right here would have knocked my head off. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. So he said, personally, I think it's dishonest that we spend so much time as African Americans complaining about racism when we're the biggest racists. Then he said, peace, God. Then he said, wait, what did it say? We didn't care about voting until it was a black president running. Then we went on record. Then we went out. We didn't give a shit about voting until it was a black president running. Then we went out in record-breaking numbers. Surprise, he put that in all capitals. Then he said, surprise, he left us hanging and only gave a shit about gay rights. Then he put a laughing face. Then he said, so then we got pissed and decided not to vote and got a psychopath, he talking about Donald Trump, when we could have gotten Hillary, who at least kind of gave a shit. And now we hate Bernie because he's Jewish and they run Hollywood, which I never got the ignorance in that logic anyway. Not to mention, last time I checked, they had the most horrific treatment in history. Duh. This is what this, I swear, I can't make this shit up. This is what this brother said to me. So, y'all gotta forgive me, but if you want to learn something about motherfucking the government and voting, now be the time. I'm about to go in, but we gotta do this in pieces, cause he asked me two different things. He said, okay, so personally, I think it's dishonest that we spend so much time as African Americans complaining about racism when we the biggest racists. Okay, let's just deal with that first. I love when smart guys say smart dumb shit. First of all, the word racist is overused. It doesn't really even apply. For two reasons. For one, the word in its core, look at the root word is race. Race. So the original term racism was the race to capitalism. That's where the term came from, smart guy. So racism at its core terminology meant the race to capitalism. What they were doing was racing their ass to Africa and racing back to America with as many Negroes as they could so they could discover the new land. Oh, hey, hold on one second, y'all. Hey, that's a beautiful question. Give me 1 second. I'm going to deal with that. I promise you. Okay, so now, like I said, the core word, peace, God, the core. My sister crazy. It wasn't really, he kind of smart though, but we going to spank him. Don't worry about it, sis. You know I got him. So the core word, racism, was about the race to get as many slaves from Africa back to the New World. America won because they came up with a boat that was smaller and faster, got the trucking and got it back. That boat was the good ship Jesus. So you Christians came over here on a boat called Jesus. That's some hilarious shit within itself. But either way it go. And then sisters be like, I'm a queen like Queen Elizabeth. That's the heifer that sanctioned the boat. The boat Jesus was Queen Elizabeth's boat. So the next time one of you black queens want to compare yourself to Queen Elizabeth, just know that's the white woman that named her boat Jesus to come get your black ass. Information is the shit. So now, let's go back to dealing with the smart guy. Now, the second part to answer your question is this. If we're going to take the word for how you meant it, when you say that black people are the biggest racists, I'm going to tell you that that is impossible. And here's why. Because I just told you what it was about. It was about capitalism at the core. So therefore, at the core of racism is capitalism. and power. African Americans in this country do not have power. So therefore, if I don't like a white person, who gives a shit? I can't do anything to stop their money flow. But if a white person don't like me, they can evict me. They can discriminate against me from keeping me from getting a job. They can do a lot of things because they're part of the power structure. Now, that doesn't mean that all white people do that, but this is what we're talking about. We're talking about capitalism. Capitalism in this country was set up for white male Americans. So therefore, well, you can't even say white male Americans because they're all foreigners. Africans are the only Americans. We was the only ones that was here already. So therefore, it was set up for foreign white men. So, with that being said, you cannot be absolutely, Queen, you cannot be a black person in America and be a racist because you have no power. You're just a bigot idiot. It does you no justice to hate white people. For what? What does that do? Like, how does that help at all? You better get you some white allies, make sure they really understand Negro hardships, and ride this bitch out. We in this motherfucker together. I don't get it. So either way it go, I'm going to do it like this right here. Every culture think about their culture first. I think about mine first. No harm in that. Y'all get mad when he say white power. Shit, I say black power. The fuck? I don't give a fuck about him saying white power. Just keep that shit clean. Because if white power turn into white aggression, then it's going to turn into a black boot and a white ass. That's how that go. Keep that shit how it's supposed to go. So with that being said, the first part of your statement is completely demolished. So now, I seen something as far as T.Y., what you said about the swastika. Yes, the swastika was originally from Africa, and Hitler was not anti-African. There is a huge misconception about Hitler. Now, am I saying he wasn't a sick white dude? I ain't saying that. But what I'm saying is he wasn't anti-African, and if he said it himself. When people really understand what I'm doing here, they're going to thank me. You know what he was doing? The people who currently got their foot in your ass right now is them same people he had in the fucking oven. And you people say they not the real Jews. Well, what the fuck you so mad at Hitler for? He knew it too. Fuck out of here. They took the same thing they did here, they tried to do it there, and he said enough is enough. He was already a part of them. Okay, let's do what we do. But then you're going to contaminate my country with these fake-ass people to go along with this fake-ass. Hitler was a student. He studied a lot. So he knew that the Bible shit was fake. Because he understood the Bible. So he knew that those people in the Bible had to be black that the Bible was talking about. So therefore, it couldn't have been these white people that they keep loading into my fucking country. And when I tell you get y'all ass out, y'all want to play this motherfucking race card and act like, okay, well, I'm not America. I do what I want to do around this bitch. Now you can't leave. Am I saying it was right? No. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, if black people thought like that, we might still be in fucking Africa, okay? You come in this bitch, you act right. You don't leave. Fuck, you can leave and go your own way. No. You knew the rules before you got here. So come in this bitch with yourself together. Or you don't leave, just like he said. And the reason why he used African symbolism is because he studied African people. He studied melanin. He had the #1 research team on the planet. He knew the importance of the black man. What they don't tell you is a lot of SS troops were African. He also said, I don't understand why y'all sit there and put up with that shit when you could come here and we don't have a racial country. Look at my army. I got plenty black people. He couldn't understand it. He also said, America gonna pay for what they did and what they're doing to God's people over there in that country. And this is when he fell out with the secret society people, because they tried to tell him to calm down. See, the secret society people had a plan. He was only supposed to whack a few of them so it could go along with biblical history. They was stealing y'all shit. So the whole plan was make this fake ass race, put them over there, whack a few of them, get a check, keep it moving. Hitler figured it out and said, okay, well, since y'all think y'all want to play with me, I'm finna whack them. I'm finna whack them, and y'all next. That's what Hitler said. I'm coming to holler at you bitches soon as I finish this business over here. What he didn't know was he was being set up. So the whole thing is this right here. That was their thing, but it'll show you what length they willing to go to fulfill biblical scripture. They concocted a race, whacked them, and then gave them a big ass check, came over here, took the check, and created Hollywood. All you gotta do is look at the fucking dates. The timeline adds up. Right after the Holocaust and all that shit, they got a big ass check. They took that check. A lot of Hitler scientists ran and escaped to America. That's documented facts. And now they run Hollywood. Hitler was trying to save your black ass. So you can hate him, like him, love him, fry him, fricassee him. I don't give a fuck. But he understood who you was more than you do. So yeah, he definitely had a swastika. And now as far as Armani line. Now look, God, I posted something today, and I kind of figured it was either going to piss people off or befuddle people, because my response wasn't that good, and that's what I expected. But what I posted today is I said, when people ask me what my nationality is, I tell them I'm an Aboriginal Kemetic Israelite. I'm an Aboriginal Kemetic Israelite. That's my nationality. Here's the thing. Y'all got to start just rocking with your boy on a regular. My thing is consistent. I bring shit consistently back so we can deal with it. I talk about compartmentalization all the time. Listen to let me show you the type of people you up against. Right now, I'm staring into a cell phone. It's in the shape of a box. When I watch television, it's in the shape of a box. When I lay down to go to sleep at night, I go to sleep on top of a box. I lay my head on top of a soft box that I call a pillow. When I want to grab some clothes, I grab them out of a box that I call a dresser that's got little boxes attached to it. Then I want to take a shower. I go step inside of a box, step out of the box, walk through a box. I want to go eat breakfast. I get it out of a box. I cook it on top of a box. Grab the ingredients out of a box. You see where this is going? And you think that's coincidental? No. Nothing on this fucking planet is coincidental. Y'all got to stop thinking that. And most of it ain't divine. Things are done intentionally. The reason why these things exist is because it subliminally has you thinking in boxes. We compartmentalize everything, which keeps us from making connections with this over here and that over there. This is the type of person you up against. So my point is this. The reason why I say I'm an Aboriginal Kemetic Israelite, because you Negroes get on the fucking internet all day, every day, and argue about those three dumbass things. When the reality is you're all three. Yes, we're Aboriginal to America. But the fucking start of civilization comes from Africa. And the only reason why you want to believe different is because you grow up in a society that never taught you about Africa. How come y'all ain't as in love with Africa as I am? How come it's so easy for you to say I'm not an African? How come it's so easy for you to dismiss anything that connects you to Africa? Because they taught you that. There ain't shit on this planet that didn't come from Africa. So therefore, trying to say that we Americans, it ain't no slave ships. It ain't no fucking Titanic either, but y'all believe Noah existed. Come on, man. The replica of the Titanic has been proven to be fake 1,000 times. You believe it's a such thing as dinosaur bones, but ain't nobody you know ever fucking seen one. You know why? Because the Smithsonian has got caught over 100 times lying about dinosaur bones. And it is written fact that they tell you we only put replicas out because we keep the real ones so they don't get damaged. Well, if you only put replicas out and you keep the real ones so they don't get damaged, then that means nobody has ever fucking seen the real ones. And when you tell me that this is a Triceratops, and then I do the fucking research and I find out that this long ass neck is a giraffe neck, and these fucking wings came from just a big ass bird, then you're lying. So they pay the money, sweep it under the table, and it don't make news. But you can Google it and find out the Smithsonian has repeatedly been sued for faking dinosaur bones. So with that being said, it's a lot of shit we ain't never seen. That don't mean nothing, God. That's what research is about. And research, all research leads to just this simple. Anything my oppressor tell me ain't for me, I'm going to it right away. Because they not for me. None of the shit that they say is in my best interest. So why the fuck am I believing them? So when you got this shit, and people don't even know, like this, see, I've been doing this shit for 10 years. So I watch doctrines come and I watch them go. So believe me when I tell you, this whole thing about the no slave ships, that's in the last 3 years, and it came from Dane Calloway. Now, if you go look at this brother channel is popping, and he's making a lot of fucking money off these dumbass thought processes he's telling you. Now he's going to tell you that you the Native Americans. No shit. But you Negroes still going to go buy a turkey on Thanksgiving. So what the fuck are we talking about? If you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, then maybe we can have this discussion. But I don't know too many black folks, even conscious black folks, that don't celebrate Thanksgiving. And I don't understand what the fuck you so excited about. Because the first Thanksgiving was in 1621. And in 1619, you niggas was around the corner getting your ass whooped in shackles. So what the fuck are we so thankful for? But then you sit down and you praise the Native Americans, that so you think. And these are the motherfuckers who sat down with your oppressor and had turkey talking about how they just locked your ass up. Because all five of the five so-called tribes were slave catchers. So do some research. Yeah, we aboriginals. But we aboriginal to the planet. So what the fuck is this argument about? Because somebody brought it up and thought of a way to get money. And now this is another compartmentalization ass situation. Then niggas want to argue, we God's chosen people. I say that's some stupid shit. Because if a white boy call you a nigger, you want to fight him and call him a racist and all this type of shit. But God could call you his chosen people. Well, what the fuck that make the white boy then? Because if you God's chosen people, that means he ain't shit in his eyes. So you can't blame him for not fucking liking you. I wouldn't like you either if God chose you over me. The fuck? So we got to think about the shit that we say and we put into our brain. God didn't choose no fucking people, first of all. And second of all, if you really want to know where the fuck you can find God, start looking in the mirror when you wake up. You'd have a better chance than following any of these Negroes with these dumbass doctrines. You're aboriginal to the planet. And I'll find you slave ships when you find me dinosaur bones. But I got slaves stories from actual slaves that told you what happened. So I don't need a slave ship when we got words from slaves who tell you what happened. When I got grandpappies who was on plantations. And he wasn't talking about we know aboriginals. He talking about these crackers done stole us. And granddaddy was 90 or some shit. He was here. So I don't believe no barely 40-year-old fat nigga that's getting paid off telling us that we ain't from Africa. Because why would you even come with that stupid ass message? And if you're a Hebrew Israelite and you subscribe to that doctrine, then don't get mad if a white boy walk up to you and call you a nigger. Because that means you're a fucking racist and so is God. So don't get mad at him for being racist. See, you condone it on one end, you condone it on the other. I don't play that in between shit. If I don't want nobody being racist against me, then I can't be a racist. Then God can't choose me. Because that means God's a fucking bigot. If you was going to choose one over the other, why create the other? If y'all going to tell me God created everything, or is it that you don't understand who and what God is? That sounds more likely to me. Anytime you make God a racist, a bigot, a hypocrite, indecisive, any of these things, you want to be a Hebrew Israelite. Have you read the relationship between the Hebrews and God? All they do is fuck up. He sends them into slavery. They beg for forgiveness. Then he sends them somebody to save them. Then they fuck up again. Then he sends them into slavery. They beg for a savior and he sends them. What the fuck? This sounds like a domestic violence dispute. What the fuck is this? I cannot allow myself to believe that I subscribe to a God that's that indecisive. And at the time when you're doing all of this with these Hebrew Israelites, at the very same time, you got Egyptian empires that's converting people saying there's only one God. It seemed like they would have been a hell of a lot easier to work with than these niggas. Why you choose them? You got the cradle of civilization over here who has started the whole civilization and got everything popping. And is starting to believe that there's only one of you. But you go get this hard-haired slave nigga and make him go against the country he was born in. Come on, man. None of this shit makes sense. But y'all read it, eat it up, and believe it. I don't buy it. So, I don't care about no slave ships and no museums. Because that shit's dumb. And what I really... hold on. My fault, y'all. The reason why they hate Hitler so much, I just be trying to keep up with the stuff y'all say, because it took me a minute to answer that question. I don't. Sharita Johnson replying to Armani, I don't get it. What you mean, Queen? I missed that part, but either way it go, that was that question right there. I got the this last one for y'all. It's so in my opinion, the first part of that question was completely destroyed about the whole us being racist thing. But now this isn't really irrelevant. This is really relevant simply because it's voting season. Now, he said the thing about we never gave a shit about voting until Obama. Once again, you smart, dumb Negroes are frustrating. Simply because we got the right to vote like 100 years, 50 years ago. So that means obviously it's some Negroes who cared about it or it wouldn't happen. But with that being said, I want to deal with this voting thing once and for all because I don't think y'all understand it. So since he opened up the doorway, let's take it back to the beginning of voting. 150 years ago, 1870, they give us the right to vote. Okay. First of all, why did we get the right to vote in the first place? Because 1865, they allegedly abolished slavery. Now, the whole reason why you abolish slavery is not because you give a fuck about slaves. Get that dumb shit out your mind. And if you Negroes keep telling me Lincoln was a good president, I'm going to scream, because Lincoln was just another racist who loved to have sex with black women. That's just that simple. He said if there was a way that he could keep the Union and keep the slaves and help the Union, he would. But he can't. So he didn't care about. The only reason why they had to fix the slavery shit was because of economy. I keep telling y'all that shit. The economy was fucked up. In order to run a nation, you borrow money. Just like the dope game. Okay, so Lincoln borrow money from secret society people just like all nations do. Okay, when the secret society people want their fucking money and you don't got it, you try to squeeze the South for more money, raise the taxes and shit. South told them, we're not fucking giving you no more money. Then they tell the South, well, you're going to have to stop having your slaves. Then the South tell them, kiss my ass, we're not going to do that either. Matter of fact, we're not even with y'all no more. So the South succeeds. This is real history. So now, after the South succeeds, now what he has to do is this right here. And y'all think he got killed for freeing the slaves. He didn't. This is the move that got him killed right here. Now, he don't have no financial backing. And now he's at war with the South. So what he did was he created greenbacks, his own currency. When you fuck with the currency system. Why did they kill Gaddafi? He was creating another currency system. Why did they kill Kennedy? He was creating another currency system. When you fuck with the money, you die. That's what happened. He created greenbacks to fund the war against the motherfucking South. Now, after that was over with, okay, now, you freed the slaves to balance the economy. Now, in order for it to be official, you got to let a nigga vote. Because that's how you officially become a part of the society. Now, what are you voting for? These are ex-slaves. How the fuck do they have a choice between two white men that can't stand them? We got the right to vote. I choose between this cracker who don't like me or this cracker who don't like me. And you assume that 50 years later, it ain't still the two. This cracker who don't like me or this cracker who don't like me. And then he said this shit about Hillary Clinton. See, Bill Clinton was smart. That nigga came to the projects and ate some collard greens with you niggas and asked for some hot sauce, and y'all coined him the first black president. He ain't have to do shit else. Then he got a blowjob in the Oval Office. Y'all fell for that shit. But that made y'all like him even more because y'all figured, now that only a nigga would do something like that. Anyway. But here's the thing. The Clintons are the ones who passed truth in sentencing. So under the Clinton administration, more African Americans got killed than, more African Americans got incarcerated than any other president in history. So the Clintons locked up more black people than any other president in history. And that's y'all favorite president. Him and Obama. Y'all love him. And Obama didn't do shit for African Americans, but if you're a hairy, fat white guy, you can now put on a dress and go to the bathroom with somebody's little daughter. Thanks to President Obama. Power to the people. This is the type of shit y'all put up with. The Clintons ain't shit. Hillary wasn't gonna be shit. Trump ain't shit. But here's the thing. Stop trying to talk all smart, dumb, and shit, and you don't do your research. I'm going to say this again. All United States presidents, with the exception of 2, have been related. They're all fucking cousins. Every empire you've ever seen, this is what y'all don't get. You look at the United States and you say it's just a country. No, it's a fucking empire. Just like Rome was an empire, just like Egypt was an empire. These are Persia was an empire. These are empires. What do empires do? They conquer. All empires conquer. And how do you keep your empire? Through bloodline. All empires are bloodline things. United States is no different. You could never take an empire and let some guy who came up through Harvard end up running your empire. Are you fucking stupid? It's a global empire. You don't let some guy with a good GPA fucking run a country. No. You let your cousin do it because he's going to do whatever the fuck you say. And if you're committing crime, your cousin ain't going to snitch. A real president would have been told on these motherfuckers. Bill Clinton know goddamn well we was all getting a blowjob last night. How did I wake up this morning and the coke lady is now my mistress? See, that's what y'all don't know. Monica Lewinsky is a known coke dealer to rich people. She's at all the rich parties selling cocaine. So, what was she doing at the White House? Well, I don't know. Gee, I don't know. Put that with the fact that everybody knows Bill Clinton, think about it. He got a big ass red nose like Rudolph. And y'all never made the connection that he's a fucking cocaine junkie. He's so bad sometimes they had to revive him right before press conferences because he's a coke addict. Monica Lewinsky is a known coke dealer. She was there selling cocaine. So why did this all happen? Because the fucking Clintons did a deal and they tried to steal some money. And they ass got caught. They can't tell you about that because the shit they was doing, they weren't supposed to be doing in the first place. But then they took some extra off some shit you ain't supposed to be doing. And they got caught. So the punishment is, whenever these people get pissed off at you, let's take it to the hip-hop world. You get caught with a tranny or some shit like this, you get embarrassed publicly. Bottom line. So when you fuck up with secret societies and you're a public figure, they know the way you got popular is through your reputation. So what are they going to do? They help create it. It ain't shit to tear it down. They built you in the first place. So they just sent a wrecking ball through your whole fucking life. And they control the media. So anything they say, you'll just see it on the news. It's just that simple. So therefore, cokehead Bill and his wife, who I'm not even sure is a woman, and they're probably cousins and it's not a real marriage, that heifer wasn't going to be no better than Cheeto Boy. Because they're cousins and they're following the same agenda. Pay attention. The last fucking 5 presidents we had all did what? Bomb the shit out the Middle East. How did this all start? With a dumbass lie about some planes flying into a building that has been proved they lied 1,000 times. So if the first lie about the towers was the first thing with the towers was a lie, why the fuck we still fighting terrorism in the Middle East? Think about it. If we already proved 9/11 was a lie, why are we still in the Middle East fighting terrorism? Then we taking over places like Afghanistan. Y'all don't know, Afghanistan, the #1 place for heroin on the planet. And we took that motherfucker over. And since we took over Afghanistan, are y'all aware that heroin distribution has become the #1 thing on the planet? And the heroin that has been pushed out of Afghanistan has doubled over 10 times since the United States took it over. And now when you talk about oil, Iran, y'all fell for that bullshit about Iran. You see what happened 3 months before they remote control this motherfucker. Iran hit the news talking about, hey, we just found 50 billion gallons of oil. We don't know where it came from. See, you get sanctioned by the United States. You fucking with Debo. You know Debo, he ride around there once around like what you got on my 40. So America ride around these countries like, what's up with that oil? So they taxing the shit out you. So now, when you start to go broke, you start lying. So Iran, they just a little country. We supply all the oil, but y'all taxing us, y'all taking everything so they lied. Now, you got intelligence, you got spies that get into the country, look just like you, find out that they lying. Now the word get back to the United States. United States gonna send you a threat. So when you get the threat, you think logically like they all do. Maybe if I go public, people will help. So you go public with the, hey, we just found some new oil. That's the indicator. 3 months later, your motherfucking dude get remote controlled and get his brains knocked out. And United States tell you they were being aggressive and they did. You a motherfucking liar. You want the oil. Not to mention, y'all don't understand that Iran was the last place left where there's not a Rothschild bank. Banks run the world. The central banking is run the world. Iran was the last place where they don't got a bank. And it was the last place left in the Middle East they don't control. Now, the United States officially controls everything on the map except Africa. And they control a lot of that. So what you're looking at is, oh yeah. I like to add this as a special little sidebar. For all you Aborigine Negroes and all you Hebrew Israelites, because y'all don't like Africa, just so you know, the only place left in the world that white folks don't completely control is only certain parts of Africa. The rest of the world is completely controlled by the United States. So, I'm just going to say this, and I hope I offend somebody. Y'all better pray to Yahweh or whatever fucking God you believe in, that I'm not the African they put in charge of letting you niggas back into Africa after you ain't got nowhere else to go. Because I'm telling you like this right here. It ain't a Bible verse you niggas can think of. It ain't a spiritual quote you gonna be able to come up with that's gonna let me open that motherfucking African gates to your African hating ass if you on that bullshit. So you better hope it's some friendly Negroes that I don't know at the gates. Because if I'm there, a lot of you motherfuckers seen shit. See, everybody left the room and I said, I don't care. I'm sending niggas back to America. I'm just saying, man. Y'all got to get off the dumb shit. Stop letting people tell you who you are. And then somebody said, okay, is the coronavirus a weapon? If so, who's the puppet master? Okay, let's deal with that. And that's crazy. You know what I like? I like when y'all questions, it show that y'all really fuck with a nigga, because y'all questions be on just like be in line with certain shit. Like when he asked me about the coronavirus, he don't understand how close that is to what I was just talking about. Okay, so dig what I just said about the Iran thing. Now the whole thing is this right here. This shit is about global domination. So if you look at the map, you got Africa sitting right here in the middle. To the left of Africa, you got South America. Okay, right on top of Africa, you got us. I mean, you got Africa in the middle. To the left, you got South America. Right on top of South America is us, North America. Okay, United States controls all of that to the left of Africa. Now you go right over the top of Africa. You got Europe and Asia. United States and Asia are like this. They business partners in this whole thing. But they're in the middle of trade disputes. Here's the problem. So now, you go past that, you got the Middle East. So when you look at the map, you stick Africa right there in the middle. To the left of Africa, you got South America, North America. All that's controlled by America. The top of the map, controlled by America. The side of the map, Middle East, they just took it when they took over Iran. So now United States completely controls everything surrounding Africa. Now, about 5 years ago, China start buying their way into Africa. See, China is just like America, but they use two different strategies. Never believe what you see on TV. On TV, they show you an aggressive, angry-ass China that don't play games. And then they show you a peaceful-ass, democratic America and Jesus. It's just the opposite. America is the monster. China's a monster too, but their tactics is different. China use paper. China understand the power of paper. So China will buy its way into anything, and then they'll just overpower you with money. Because if I can buy into your economy, then I can buy it out and get the jobs to my people. So let's say, for instance, if you let me open up a Chinese bank, it's going to be all Chinese people. Then we're going to open up a hotel. Why not? Now, you thinking it's putting lots of money into the economy. It's only one hotel and one bank. But we got more money than you. So our one hotel and our one bank generates more money than your entire fucking country. And we're bringing nothing but Asians in there. Now those people who we just brought for these two companies, they gonna move into your society. And they integrate. You starting to see an influx of African Americans with Asians. Anytime you see interracial couples, it is the dominant culture pushing the issue, because this is how you take over. See, you can't have a complete takeover without integration. It's impossible unless you kill off all the people. So therefore, if you're going to integrate, and this is common sense, then you have to control integration, i.e. Dr. King's civil rights. He was an implant. Now, back to the matter. So now what you're dealing with is China bought their way into Africa, and they all threw that bitch. Now, America understands this. Now, America only got a couple bases. America's money is more in tourism. America and Europe got most of their money in tourism. They control all the resorts. That's how they dominate in Africa, through resorts. But now, when you get the banking toehold and shit like that, it's different. China is permanently implemented, starting to buy their way into the culture. So now America panicked. This is what the trade war is all about. So now what America has to do, they have to speed up their plan to get into Africa. Now watch this. So they plan was already to take over Iran, set up shop like they've been doing, but they got to speed up the process. They need an excuse. So they put pressure on Iran. Iran lie about the oil. That give them the reason. They knock Iran top off. So now what this does is, this gives y'all, you can't go to war without your people agreeing to it. So now this is what this does. Now, once they lie to y'all and tell y'all Iran is on bullshit, I went to social media. Every last one of y'all, nuke them, fuck them, let's get them. Even black people, Iran, we just want y'all to know it ain't us. Because black people, you Negroes are scary. Soon as y'all heard they got a nuke, you Negroes start begging for mercy. Fuck begging for mercy. You gonna die, you gonna die. Bitch, drop it. I don't give a fuck. If they drop a bomb, you ain't gonna know it. You just gonna leave. And since they got you Negroes, even you conscious niggas, y'all scared of hell, so you scared to die. Well, there's no such thing as hell. You're eternal, so what the fuck you so worried about? So if they drop a nuke on their raggedy ass country, who does it hurt? It hurt them. They built it. This is what y'all got to think. To be honest with you, I'm not even positive we can prove that they have nuclear weapons. First of all. Second of all, if they do, these people shit on gold toilets and have the best of everything that this planet can offer. You really think they're going to blow each other up over money and dumb shit? No, they're in it together. They agree on most things. The bottom line is this. Africa's the last place left, and now people are getting nervous about the divvy. See, China realized that while you stayed in China and only cared about your people, you allowed America to gain too much ground. Now China look around like, fuck, we partners, but goddamn, they last partner was motherfucking the Saudi dude. What's his name? The dude from Hassan, whatever the fuck is it, Saddam Hussein. That was their last business partner. And y'all see they hung that nigga like in the old days. How the fuck you don't give a nigga a trial? They put that nigga on a rope and dropped him like back in the medieval days. Then they told you they killed Bin Laden, but they didn't show you his body. And then they spread his ashes out to the sea. And they said they did it to respect Muslim culture. In Muslim culture, that's disrespectful as fuck, first of all. Second of all, Osama bin Laden was CIA, and that motherfucker been dead since '01. They showing y'all footage from a cave. Then this motherfucker talking in a language you don't understand. They put words across the bottom, and you Negroes believe it. I don't speak Arabic. I don't know what the fuck they say across the bottom of the screen. All I know is if it's one old ass Arab in a cave steady sending us text messages off that little bitty ass phone, somebody should be able to do something. But he was CIA. Why the fuck do you think when they first dropped the bomb, his parents got caught at the airport, they let his parents go? They called Bush and told him, we got his parents at the airport, what should we do? He said, let them go. The fuck you mean let them go? This nigga just blew up American soil. This is mama and daddy. We finna pull their motherfucking toenails out until this nigga talk. You can't say they're oblivious to torture. We didn't caught so much footage of them torturing people during that very same war. So they concoct a fake war, then they went over there and tortured the people. They was raping people and chopping up body parts and all kind of shit. But see, y'all don't pay attention to certain shit I do. When they caught the fucking, the one dude, and they said it was an American hostage, and they beheaded him on TV. They just got to the point where they'll show a full-blown vagina on TV, and that's a snapshot. But you mean to tell me they let us watch a full-blown beheading on national news, and they couldn't stop it? The fuck out of here. They wanted you to see it. Why? Because if you look into Masonic culture, they got an apron. It's a Masonic apron where they're holding a head up, and in Masonic you cut the blood from left to right. Right before your very eyes on the national news, they're showing you a Masonic ceremony. What they're doing is saying everything over here is going according to plan. How the fuck you think they're communicating? You can't trust the airways because they tapped. So they got to fake this hostage shit. They go on national news. They do a Masonic ceremony. And that lets America know on this side of shit, we got it on lock. None of what you see is real, bro. If you looking at this shit, believing it, you tripping. If you looking at any aspect of this world and you're not saying, okay, what's really going on, that's your fucking problem. None of this shit's real. So to answer the thing about the coronavirus, America punished China for the move they pull, for getting a little too itchy, sliding into their shit. So simultaneously, you get Iran, motherfucking leader get his top knocked off, then a week or two later, Chinese people got coronavirus. And the Chinese people is in America. Is in Africa. Now, how do I know this was about Africa? Okay, soon as Iran attacked America, allegedly, what happened? They bombed a base in Kenya. It was like nigga didn't even know it was a base in Kenya. That was probably the smallest base they got on the planet. America got more military bases than anybody in the world. Everywhere in the world. Why bomb a base in Kenya? They said it was minimal casualties. That means 5 people got hit. Why you bomb that? And what the fuck, how was that going to strike fear in America? No leader is that stupid. And where's the retaliation for them bombing the base in Kenya? Why we don't hear about the war no more? Now all y'all hear about is politics. What happened to the war in Iran? What happened? Why are we not talking about that every day? There was a full-blown war. There was a fucking scare. Y'all was scared we was about to get nuked. Why you Negroes ain't talking about it no more? Why it ain't on the news no more? Why this ain't? We were on the verge of war. And now we just worried about the elections. Niggas ain't even scared of nukes no more. Let's go back to when I said compartmentalization. They keep you thinking in little boxes. So it's easy to trick you because you just in one box. So they trick you in one box, you get out of there, you jump, and they trick you in another box. The coronavirus, y'all go back, watch this. I'm finna prove to y'all I was right. Go back and watch the Super Bowl. Y'all can go back and Google Super Bowl commercials. Almost every other Super Bowl commercial was Asian people. And it wasn't flattering. They was making little side jokes about Asian people. Now, y'all didn't make the connection that Asia's in Africa. It's the last place left for them to conquer. They're in business together. America feel like Asia getting greedy because they doing a little bit too much. So what what United States do is finally take over their last spot in the Middle East. They fake a bombing in Kenya. Now, once they fake the bombing in Kenya, that gives United States probable cause to send the military into Africa. Why are they doing that? To let China don't got no military in Africa. They just got businesses. So now, not only do we got military bases in there, now we got soldiers walking around occupying territory. What does this do? This let China know before you even think about it, bitch, we here. Now, public embarrassment. What did I just tell y'all? When you fuck up with these people, they embarrass you publicly. Now, for the first time y'all ever remember, when the fuck was Asians ever the joke of America? Now we all making Asian jokes about coronavirus and shit like this. We're insensitive motherfuckers too, might I add. But now they have publicly embarrassed China. China knows where the fuck the coronavirus came from. And also, now we got military over here, and we're gonna fucking stay here. The one thing about United States is, once they bring their troops onto your soil, they don't leave. Because if you leave, the people who you brought the troops, they're gonna bring some troops out. So once we got troops here, the only thing we do is bring more. We never take away. Until we have completely dominated. So yes, to answer your question, that was America spanking China, letting them know, quit fucking playing with us or we'll kill all you short motherfuckers. I'm telling you how they think, bro. These people are sick. And they don't value life like y'all think. See, you have to understand. I'm going to break something down for y'all real quick. 1933, United States completely signed over ourselves to the Federal Reserve. Now, what that does is this right here. The Federal Reserve, now your money say Federal Reserve on the back. It didn't used to say that. The Federal Reserve is where United States borrows money from. I just told you, all nations have to borrow money from somewhere. So what the secret society motherfuckers did, the same motherfuckers that Hitler was beefing with, it's the exact same people. What they did was they bankrupted the United States, and the United States had to borrow money. When they created the Great Depression. Y'all all know about that. Okay, secret society people concocted that. Once they did that, United States was broke and had to borrow money. Right after that, they came up with the Federal Reserve Act. Once the United States signed that, okay, now, anytime you go to the bank, if you want to borrow money from a bank, you need collateral. If you're a broke country, you don't got only one thing for collateral. Your citizens. So, in 1933, the Federal Reserve Act was signed, and in 1939, Social Security Act, which means the United States by 1939 officially gave your ass up for collateral. Every citizen in the United States has a birth certificate and a Social Security number. Your Social Security number is a receipt to the Rothschild banking slash Federal Reserve people to say we own your ass. So the United States can never go against the Federal Reserve because the Federal Reserve owns the citizens. And with every dollar that it borrows, it has $1 of interest attached. So if I loan you 100,000, that means you owe me 2. And if you can't pay me my 2, I'll loan you some more. So now you pay me 100,000. You owe me 200,000. You can only pay me 100,000. You need to borrow another 100. That 100,000 is attached with 2 more. So you're never gonna not owe me money. And the citizens are collateral. So that means you are permanently a product of the Federal Reserve. So what does that mean? You are their property. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do to you. That's why you can go to jail. Why do you think they can take your children from you? Just think about it. How can somebody make a phone call on you, say you've been a bad parent, and the police come in and just literally with no proof take your children and make them a ward of the state and nobody can do anything? Because you're property. So when you think of it from that aspect, you're fucking with a monster. And the people who control America are American. So they don't give a shit about what happens to Americans. Now, with that being said, you got a sister said something about Nipsey. I don't know what you mean about that, but the Nipsey Hussle thing was well, see, another thing, Quinn, you said you so mad that Africa's allowing this. Another thing we don't understand about Africa is this right here. You think that, what did I just tell you? When America brings soldiers on your soil, they never leave. So y'all think they came and got slaves, took them back to Africa, took them back to America and just left. No. They come take your shit and they leave people there to run your shit back there. And then they run shit here. Now what they realize is this right here. You got to understand everybody's not brave as fuck. So when these people come bum rush your shit and a person is standing over you and you just watch them, like these people are, these people are raping the animals. Like they're slitting throats and drinking blood. Like you talking about sick individuals. They doing weirdo shit. You got half dead men bleeding and getting raped and bleeding out their anus and somebody will jump in and rape him through the bleeding part. This is the type of shit they were partaking in. Now you're watching this shit happen right in front of you. You ain't never been exposed to this type of savagery. You're a philosophical, y'all go to war, but y'all don't go to war like this. And now that same motherfucker who you just watched rape a corpse is standing over you with a machete talking about, okay, so are you African or are you Christian? Ain't too many people gonna say African. That's a sad reality. Now you and I might go out, I'm African. I'm sorry. You gotta chop this bitch off and roll it like a bowling ball. But most people ain't cut like that. So this is what you're dealing with. People with a face would convert or die. So when you look at Africa and you look at Africa being a predominantly Islamic country, that's because our first slave masters was Islam. Now what they did was they split it up. Islam and Europe became partners. They went into a long ass war, and you could look up the status quo antebellum. Basically, it was a stalemate. 3 people went into the war. The Persians, Arabs, and the Romans all went to war. Somehow the Persians disappeared off the face of the fucking earth. And the only people who came out of the war was the Arabs and the Europeans. And they came out as partners. Because they realized like we couldn't whip each other. So shit, we might as well just whip the shit out of everybody else. And they've been partners ever since then. Ever since then. So all of this shit you see about them hating Islam is all fake. It's all scripted. There was never a beef with Middle Easterners. The Middle East people is part of the plan. Why do you think they're so fucking rich? They countries is as big as my cell phone, but these niggas got gold everything. How? Because they're business partners. They fund a lot of shit that go on in America. That's why they said if one of them Arabic dudes was to take his money out of certain banks, it would crash the economy. These people are business partners. This is global domination. This is not no Christian system of good people and God gonna save you. God is not gonna save you, and Jesus is not coming because they invented Jesus. And it worked just fine because you Negroes won't lift a hammer waiting for the Savior. And y'all forgot about the part that helped those who helped themselves. Y'all think that means go to church and put money in the basket. You know, as much money as the church that made throughout the black community, they could have ended black poverty in every neighborhood. Why is any black neighborhood still poor if they got a black church? These are things y'all don't think about. So what I'm saying is this right here. Yeah, they was on bullshit. But at the same time, like I say, peace, God. Everybody can't stand up like that. So you gonna have people that fold under pressure. But the thing is this right here. Anytime you hear something that tell you to go against nature, you got to retract what you're thinking. We all African at the core. Anything telling you separate from Africa, you cannot fuck with. I don't care what it is. If it's telling you to separate from Africa, throw it out. Because that makes you, as a people, it makes you thin. Because even, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, let's just say we was completely from America and we not from Africa. Let's just say that was true. It's bullshit. But if it was true, accepting that doesn't do anything but separate you from Africa. So how do y'all get back as one body if y'all think we ain't the same? So that doctrine don't help. Whether it was right or wrong, it don't help. So you throw it out. But I'm here to tell you factually, because I've been researching this. I have debates with this shit for hours, and I don't lose. You can't prove it. You can't prove that you're an Israelite because you don't understand what an Israelite is. And I tell y'all, if you break down the word, how you going to tell me you anti-African when Israelite is Isis, Ra, El? That's Isis, African goddess, Ra, African god, El, an African god, or either the devil, however you look at it. Either way it go, you stuck in Africa. How the fuck you not African? Hey, peace, Queen. I preach statements like that mean a lot to me because I'm going to be honest with y'all. And if y'all fuck with me, y'all will see. At 5 o'clock in the morning, I screen share with y'all and be like, still studying. I never go to bed before daybreak. And I study every single night. So that when I come to y'all, I could give y'all shit that y'all could go look and you ain't going to find I'm wrong. Or if you do, I'm open for you to, and you could tell me. It's people that gave me some shit and I go back to the, you know how many fucking times I've been wrong? The first 2 years, I've been on this for 10 years. The first 2 years of my research, I was a Jesus freak. I thought this was all about God and the devil still. It took, you know what I mean? So what I realized is a rule. And once I realized this rule, it changed my studies. The rule is this. Anything common, go the other way. Because they control common thought. So anything that's common thought, get the fuck away from it. Anything. That means your holidays, your anything. Anything that's common thought, get the fuck away from it. Because they control commonality. None of your holidays is true. All of your holidays are evil as fuck. Everything is based off of satanic energy and evil shit. But the trick is there is no Satan. So they got you on that end too because they got you scared of the devil. It's all about fear. They keep you like the young brother Darius. I love that young brother. He said when I first met him, keeping you at a lower frequency. And he was 100% right. This is all about frequency. If I can keep you at a low frequency, I can keep you uneducated and scared. Then I can do anything I want to do to you. So start your research by going in the opposite direction. If they tell you Hitler is the evilest man on the planet, start researching Hitler. I did 3 weeks on Hitler. Shit killed me what I was finding. Like, okay, this dude was about something. He's somebody that if you black, you would be like, shit, I would have rocked with him. If I was around during that time, I'd have got on the first thing smoking and got the fuck into Germany. Around that bitch talking about SS bound this bitch. I'd have been a Nazi. I'm telling y'all that now. So you can call me a black Nazi. If I was around during the Hitler days, I'd have been one of the SS troops and I'd have been knocking motherfuckers' heads back, no problem. It is what it is. This is war. Y'all don't understand, y'all. Y'all want this shit to be pretty with a bow tie on it. This is war. They came and got your people and raped them. And you want this shit to end with some guy coming out the clouds and saving you? Hell no. I want to take it like they took it. What the fuck is the joy in the clouds cracking open and God come save us all after this bastard been banging on us for thousands of years? You want that to happen? No. I want it to go exactly how it's going. He came in there, he pulled that punk shit, he brought us over here, he's still pulling punk shit, but now we waking up and we about to get on some punk shit. That's what I want. And I want this bitch to end the same way they ended that motherfucking video footage they sent. When they sent that footage with a motherfucking head in his hand and a sword in the other hand, I want this bitch to end with either me dead than a motherfucker or that bitch head in my hand and my sword in the other hand screaming Viva la Africa or whatever the fuck we gonna say. Point blank period. Anything else is uncivilized, just like them dumbass commercials from the 90s. I don't want no God to come save me. I want to get it out the mud like y'all always saying, but a nigga don't want to get his Jordans dirty. You want to get it out the mud, but can't nobody get the J-Bones dirty. And fuck J-Bone too for whoever listening. So my thing is this. It's another thing when I say fuck J-Bone. Anything they hold up high, you got to look for the opposite. That sister brought up Nipsey Hussle. You know I argue with you Negroes for weeks about Nipsey Hussle. And when y'all found out I was right, now one of you niggas inboxed me and said, God, I found that the truth came out. That it was a setup. All the footage that I had, y'all could go back and look the night after it happened. The very next day I dropped my shit before everybody else was even doing shit. I had slides, evidence. I even caught the commissioner and them lying during their interview. Nobody else on the internet showed that. I'm the only speaker on the internet that showed that press conference when they lied and shit. And I caught it. So what I'm saying is, the information here, but y'all too consumed with what you do in your day-to-day that you don't got time to think outside the box. They never tell the truth. You're a slave. Why would you do you ever lie to your dog? Or do you just sit around and tell your dog all the real life honesty? You know, when the dog want to know why he ain't got no kibbles, you like, shit, man, that check was short, and you tell him, get the fuck out of here and bitch, go growl. I mean, you're a dog, you'll figure it out. But y'all expect the government, who looks at you the same way as we look at our little dumbass dog, to be honest and Christians and swear on the Bible and let's vote for a president. I don't give a fuck who you vote for. Their grandparents used to have slaves and they don't like black people. There, I said it. Not even Obama. You could take names out of a hat and just pick them. And whatever name come up out of there, I guarantee you, their grandparents had slaves and they don't like black people. Because here's the thing. Here's the common sense thing. If any of the candidates really gave a shit about black people, why didn't they do something monumental for black people before now? They've been moving their way up in politics. They could have passed policies in their states and all kind of shit. They never did. You don't just come to president. So how they get there? Because they didn't give a shit. But they understand that if they get on the stage with you niggas with Juvenile and back that ass up, you'll vote for them. And matter of fact, he probably won't, but if Juvenile ever see this, you one of my favorites, but you could probably drink bleach for that shit. I know Birdman, old sidewinding ass, put you up to it. And I don't even know why you went back to him or whatever. That's weird. That shit's weird. After I threatened to kill a nigga, I don't want to hang out with you, and you definitely can't sign my checks. But whatever. So either way it go, look in the opposite direction. Stay the fuck away from voting. You know why y'all want to vote? Because you scared of black people. See, I could sit on Facebook talk this old stupid ass CNN fake intelligence shit. Then I could go vote, put on a button, and people on Facebook think I'm intelligent. But I haven't done a fucking thing for black society ever. I don't follow none of the shit I talk about in church. But I put praying hands on myself, and I really love when Pastor cook for us. Y'all play all kind of dumbass games and then won't get mad at the white boy if he say nigga. Get your motherfucking mind right, man. This shit is so fucking enormous. Y'all, I need y'all to catch up with me, man. I need black people to catch up with me. I can't be the only one up here knowing this shit. Y'all gotta catch up so all of you, we can all start having channels and start teaching this shit. Because most of what y'all believe, if you sit down and break it down to yourself, it don't even really make sense. But you don't break it down to yourself. This say, Dick Gregory's talking to his granddaughter. She say, there's a God, right? He say, yeah. She say, and the devil, right? She say, yeah. He said, and God created everything, right? He say, yeah. Including the devil, right? He say, yeah. She say, and devil to do all the bad things to us? He said, that's what they say. She say, well, why God don't just kill the devil? This one of the moments where I wish I was with that little girl and we could stand in front of the camera and I could let her drop a microphone or something. You Negroes go through all of that and nobody thinks, why don't God just get rid of the devil? This is the type of shit y'all put up with. It did call me an atheist when I say ain't no Jesus. Get the fuck out of here, man. You don't know if it is either. You just scared of burning hell. That's the only reason why you Negroes believe this bullshit. These dumbass stories that don't even add up because you're scared you're going to sizzle like bacon one day. So therefore, you just go with the flow. But just so you know, if it is somebody right now listening to me that thinks that you could possibly burn in hell, let me just clear something up for you. If you're listening to me right now and you think that you could possibly burn in hell, guess what? You're already going to go just for watching this. But I'll be there with you, so hey, maybe we'll burn together. You see how stupid this shit is, bro? It's just weirdo spook tales to make you niggas act right and be, you're reactive, you're not proactive. You just react to things. So when God cracked the clouds open, then you're going to react to that. But until he cracked the clouds open, you're going to sit here and let these motherfuckers stand on your goddamn throat. And just tell you all kind of stupid shit. They killed Nipsey Hussle in a fucking supermarket. In a fucking mini market. And you Negroes said, niggas in the hood be hating all the time. Man, that shit, you niggas be too much conspiracy. Bro, it's a mini market. It's 3,000 cameras pointing at this shit. All we got is a camera of a back alley where it looked like a nigga was selling whiskey at. And nobody said nothing. You niggas just argue for days. That's how easy it is to trick y'all. Even Nipsey store had a shitload of cameras. And none of y'all still ain't said, how come his wife didn't quickly release them cameras up front and let everybody see? And if she did, how come she ain't telling us? The police been had the cameras. They know what happened. But then y'all say, oh, there's conspiracy. Yeah, it is. But it was the 20th anniversary of her first acting debut when they killed him. Not for nothing. And them same Jews that Hitler was trying to kill, y'all do realize that the reason why the Bible talk about blood sacrifice so much is because the people who wrote the Bible are in the blood sacrifice. Because everything is energy, and the highest concentration of energy on this planet is in your blood. So you can manipulate reality through blood. This is science. I didn't make that up. But it sounded smart as hell, didn't it, for a nigga from Allied? So when I say it like that right there, what about Kobe? And this is another thing. This is another thing, Queen. They show us a cartoon from 3 years ago where Kobe crashes in a helicopter. Then Kobe dies from crashing in a helicopter. And you Negroes said, man, it just, shit be happening, man. The weather was bad. And why you think I didn't even speak on Kobe? I just get tired sometimes. It's like certain shit I'm not even going to tackle. And plus, I fucked with Kobe. And everybody that knew We Gotta Do Better is going to be my tribute to Kobe. Anybody who know me know I'm a Kobe fanatic. So I didn't get involved with that whole week. I didn't even talk to nobody. I didn't do nothing. I didn't want to deal with it. I'm not even going to do a lecture on it because too many people going to hate on it. I got so much information that I could prove it without a heartbeat. But I just stayed away from it because I know how people are. But either way it go, just a couple little quick things. They put it in a cartoon. That to me tells everything. They always do that. They've done that 1,000 times. They show you before they're gonna Aaliyah, Queen of the Dam. They kill her in Queen of the Dam. Right after Queen of the Dam, she died on the plane. They said the fucking I just read what you said, but they put that shit in Queen of the Dam, and then they killed her. They if you know, y'all know the white girl Brittany Murphy, on the last movie that she ever did, she was dead in the bathtub on the movie cover. In real life, she OD'd in the bathtub. The picture of her last death is just like the picture from the movie cover. This is what they do. Heath Ledger, the Batman dude. In the last scene of Batman, how does he die? He's hanging upside down, and then he either cut himself loose or he get cut loose. How did Heath Ledger die? He hung himself. You see what I'm saying? This is how they play, bro. This is the people y'all fucking with. This is how they play, bro. Now the thing with Kobe is, Kobe was. This is why I didn't like y'all making LeBron a Kobe. LeBron will never be Kobe, and Kobe was better than Mike, simply because Kobe was a businessman, and you couldn't catch Kobe in no dirt. That's why they had to fake the hotel shit. That was fake. The way I knew, I researched that, and I caught Phil Jackson in a lie. And when I caught Phil Jackson in a lie, then I knew the whole thing was a setup. I followed that shit closely. Plus, if you Kobe Bryant, at the time when this shit happened, you're the #1 black man on the planet. If you want sex, you don't fuck a fat white chick in a hotel lobby. It's just not necessary. You don't even talk to people in a hotel lobby. Kobe Bryant can't even leave his hotel room unattended. It's Kobe Bryant. What the fuck? You want sex on a late night, you tell your guy, go find somebody. Or, if you're a superstar and you're the hottest nigga on the planet, you got a chick in every city. You don't go to no city, you're going to be there for a few days. You know you like women and you don't got a women there. Why the fuck? You know your schedule at the beginning of the season. You know where you're going to be at when you're going to be there. So it doesn't happen like that. He's not a nightclub guy. He don't go out and party. So therefore, he would have had either a chick in that city or somebody will go get him a chick. He's not going to go mingle with a fat girl in the lobby. It's not going to happen. So either way it go, they set him up the first time. He bounced back from that shit. But now this last time, they have to get rid of Kobe because Kobe surpassed Mike. They're trying to make LeBron surpass Kobe. As long as Kobe's alive, LeBron will never surpass Kobe. It's never going to happen. Put that with the fact that he was into a real big he was into millions of dollars dispute with a financial company in China. That had a lot to do with it. It was a lot of shit going on under the table. But yeah, they killed Kobe. They're going to get rid of all your heroes. Black people, the bottom line is this right here. A black man can't die wealthy. He can't end his legacy. Kobe had more money than almost any athlete you can think of. He had more money than Michael Jordan. He had more money than everybody. He probably made the most money in the history of any basketball player, be honest with you. Kobe was standing on that type of paper. Okay, now you retired, and you're even a better businessman than you was a basketball player. So that means Kobe was a billionaire. They're not saying it on the low. Kobe's a billionaire. And now you gonna retire and keep making business deals, and you're gonna take these billions and pass it over to these little black girls? Fuck out of here. But if we remove the black man, the woman, she can have the money because there's so many things in the system to control her, and we can raise your children through controlling her. So we'll do that. I.e. Laura London, yeah, we control her. But Nipsey, he was on his road to becoming something. He was going to be another Pac. No, we're not going to let that. They'll never let another Pac happen in rap. That's why they got rid of Pac. Okay, one more thing. What the fuck of all the LGBT ass black women in the Democratic Party? Feminism. Oh, okay. Just deal with that as a whole. When I told y'all this planet is controlled by satanic energy, all that means is a perversion of everything that you understand to be right. So their job is to pervert everything normal. So you're going to see a society with abnormal sexuality. Because if they allow you to continue normal sexuality, here's the problem. Normal sexuality reproduces. Normal sexuality reproduces. If I turn people into homosexuals, you stop reproduction. So now we can keep the birth rate low, and now all we have to do is maintain what we got. It's so much technology. Every day, new people are being born. You're bringing those people into a much smarter, much intellectual, technological era. You can't bring them into that unless you bring them in controlled. So you got to get the numbers down, control what you got right now. When you start the next phase of reproduction, that phase of reproduction will come in almost like robots, thinking a certain way. So what they have to do is they have to they have to turn society into, peace God, what's happening, Effie? They have to turn society homosexual. Because homosexuality is a confusion of normality. Y'all think gay people should have rights. It's not about rights. It never was. Once again, you're thinking compartmentalized. Everyone born should have rights. Why are you turning it into gay rights? Who made it a thing that gay people don't have rights? Who made it a thing that there was actual problem with gay people? So here's what you do. In the 70s, you implement psychedelic drugs. This is when you hit rampant homosexuality. So when you hit rampant homosexuality through psychedelic drugs, now you got this disco lifestyle that's promoting this free thinking and free drug living. That invites homosexuality. Now, when people get caught doing weird shit on the dance floor, people know it's the drugs. So you don't think about it. This was the start of it. Now these people have drugged their way into these weirdo relationships and started a culture. Now you put on TV, all you got to do is send one person to go beat up a gay person at a club. And then you film it. And then you headline it at the news. Homosexual outrage is the headline. This is just one fight with a gay dude who got paid to get beat up. But the headline reads homosexual outrage. And then you have somebody write it up as if gay people are getting picked on. Now you got people who are just good-hearted people saying, wait a minute, well, that's not right. Now you start a whole vehicle of this oppressed gay people thing. And why are you doing that? Because you created civil rights to benefit you. Now that it's benefiting black people, you have to take it away from black people because it was never for them in the first place. So you have to throw women and homosexuals into the civil rights pool. That's why they created the word minority. So when they throw you into the minority bracket, that could be anybody. Now, as long as you minority, you are okay to get these things that you would have only normally initially given to black people. So this is just another game they playing. So what the LGBT is becoming is the new Civil Rights Act. Civil rights was something that looked good on the outside, but really was horrible for society. Now, am I saying black, white people shouldn't be together? No, I have biracial children. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is this right here. A people can't strengthen itself if they don't know itself. So you should have never let white people be with black people when the races don't like each other at the time. Black people just got through getting stood on by white people. And white people have been taught to hate black people. You take these two races and you throw them together and say, y'all got to get along. So what this forces is the white people is going to be nasty to you. And black people have to accept it because they created laws that say you can't do nothing about it. This was done structurally. Why? The same reason why they abolished slavery, to fix the economy. You can't have slaves free, and now slaves figured it out. You say you abolished slavery in 1865. By 1920, we had Black Wall Street. That's only 50 years, baby. So in 50 years, they came from slaves to a society that not mimics, but does better than some white societies in the country. And then you got white boys coming home from the war, seeing that, going crazy. Like, how the fuck is our ex-slaves millionaires? That's when they put the hoods on, like, not gonna have it. This is the creation of the Klan. You see what I'm saying? You see how quickly we just linked all these events together. It's one big game, but we compartmentalize it into these separate things. It's all one thing. It's the same game they playing. But they put it in different brackets so you can't smell it and you can't see what's coming. So that's really all it is. But you dealing with what I finna say. Oh, wait, hold on. There you go, right there. So when you dealing with the LGBT shit, you're only dealing with the new civil rights movement. They put black and white people together to fix the economy and to help them out. Now you putting the LGBTQ together. Now this is still another American agenda. What is it doing? Now, what you did when you put black and white people together, some of that backfired. Because the plan was put the black man with the white woman. The white woman still working for the black man. Still working for the white man. So it's a trap. But what happens is when white women start generally falling in love with niggas and white boys start loving rap music, then it's like, wait, what the fuck? Our little white boys is dressing like them, and our white women is fucking them. So this is starting to change. This dynamic is turning on them. So they had to take over hip hop and control that to make sure, okay, if little white kids is gonna listen to this shit, we gonna get paid from it. And those same little white kids that pretend to be gangster and listen to your music, we can send them to college off this dumb shit. Now on the flip side, we got the white woman that's falling for the brother, and we can't really seem to do that because she fighting for the motherfucker harder. So now they had to disown the white woman and come up with the gay culture. So now you take the same black man and you effeminize him. So he don't desire the black woman or the white woman. He want a boy. And they make that the new norm through civil rights and freedom. The same thing they used on you Negroes. You fell for it once, you fall for it again. So they use that same civil rights tactic on your black ass all over again. In every movie you see with a homosexual, how come the homosexual's a black dude? 90% of them. Every once in a while you're going to get a white dude, but most movies got a homosexual leading character and he's black on the 90th percentile. That pushes homosexuality to young black kids. So when you got a little young black kid who's not popular, he might be what you consider nerdy. Instead of him having to figure it out like any other nerd, now he got another little nerdy boy and TV tells him it's okay for them to touch each other. Now what this is you got a race that's under attack spiritually. Now they're being attacked physically because this race can't reproduce. The whole purpose of Planned Parenthood was to stop black people from reproducing. That shit wasn't directed. That was directed for black people. That was Bill Gates' daddy. Came up with that. And that was to stop us. Like, we gonna get these niggas some free condoms. Y'all tripping. If you look at society right now, the European has a 0 birth rate. If you just look structurally wise, white people they're more career oriented. They don't have a lot of kids, unless you like like Southern white people do. But up north, it's 2 kids, house, fence, and chase your career. So when you have that thought process, and then a white woman is a stickler for her body. So you have white women to tell you she's not gonna have a rich white woman to tell you she's not making no babies because she ain't fucking up her figure. So when you got these dynamics, this is what you got to think about. So they use the LGBT to do the same thing. Now you got another movement, and they're letting LGBT people get civil rights benefits. They have changed it into a civil rights movement. So now, not only is black people divided because the black woman is upset that the black man is with the white woman, and now the black man's up. Now they pushing a lot more. You're gonna see the white woman with the black man. You're seeing that in every show more so now. So now they pushing the vice versa. So now you got that dissension, but now you got sexuality. So now it's not even about race. Now we arguing over race and sexuality. We took one argument and turned it into two. Police brutality also contributed to emasculating men, fear of posing a threat to white society. To an extent, yeah. Well, police force was only created to police slaves. That was the whole purpose of it. And police brutality, to be honest with you, police brutality is more hyped up over the media. And peace, Queen. In all actuality, police brutality is about media. Because if you think about it, we from the hood. We see the police every day, walk right past them with the dope in our pocket and be like, fuck them. We're not really scared of police. If you go to bigger cities, police don't come in there unless they come with riot gear. You go in the shot and think you finna just be sitting around hanging out. You'll get that motherfucker aired out. You go into Brooklyn and run into the wrong projects, they'll air your ass out. Certain places don't play that. You just sit and hang out shit. We're not really traditionally scared of police. We don't like being arrested and going to jail. But then once we get there, we turn that shit into the block. So if you think about it, if we was really scared of police, we'd behave different. We're not scared of police. But once it's perpetuated, yeah. But if you think about it, the black man doesn't really have a death fear. We fear hell. We fear God. Black men don't fear dying. Just think about it. So many niggas that's read about that action. Niggas don't really think about dying. But the thing is this. When you show a police killing, and you show the brutality, and you show the getaway, that's what we fear. We fear a society that'll let you kill a nigga and ain't nothing gonna happen to you. If we knew it was gonna be some retribution, niggas would take a lot more action. But when you know that you coming at me and my family, I'm the only hustler, so the only power our family got is my street money. You take me down, you take down our family wealth. I can't leave them people in that position and then nobody's gonna do nothing. So that's really what we fear. We fear that court system that'll hang a nigga and ain't nobody gonna do shit about it. We fear the fact that you could shoot a nigga in his car with his daughter on Facebook Live and he can get away with it. That's what's scary, nigga. Shit, nigga do a bit and a nigga go out in a blaze of glory, no problem. But when you tell me after I leave, my family got to deal with the fact of yo punk ass getting off and nobody's spending a day in jail, that's scary, Queen. That's scary right there. That's scary. Yeah. No. I know what you're saying. I was just, from the perspective of, I just don't think overall, I don't think there's very many black men that fear dying in that aspect. I know as far as like the actual police having their way with you, that's what the problem is. Being put in a situation where I can't do nothing. That's what a black man fear. We don't fear to fight. Even if a nigga get out, bang with the police, we have a good one, and it don't work out. Nigga, I done seen niggas bang it out with the police, get his ass whooped, and be in book and laughing with his shit closed, talking about, boy, that one cracker, I wore his ass out. But when you say I can't help myself, that scared me more than anything. That was just my take on it, Queen. But you definitely right, though. But the whole thing is this. When it all boils down to it, and then I'm going to let y'all up out of here, compartmentalization is what causes us to fall to these things. We take everything and put it in its own section. and we don't make the connections. So it allows us to keep getting tricked. When you understand they never tell the truth, that means everything they do, I'm going to look for the lie, and then I'm going to connect it from that angle. If you think Dr. King is a good person, but that's the number one person that the system uphold, then something ain't right about them. It's just that simple. They got a national holiday for a black man that y'all think helped y'all. From the most racist, the most, y'all don't understand because it's done differently. But do y'all realize that what the United States has created is 10 times worse than what Hitler put together? The same people who control the United States birthed Hitler. Y'all don't understand. Hitler was a concoction. See, that's the part y'all don't know how they play. I'm going to give y'all this last little piece. Germany was broke. So the banking is the money. The Rothschilds run the world because they run banking. And American money is the most dominant money on the planet. So therefore, the most dominant money on the planet runs the planet. And the Rothschilds run that money. So now, this is the core of what you're dealing with. When you're dealing with everything, you're dealing with the money and the banking system. So Germany go broke. Who get them out the problem? The Rothschild and the Rockefellers. The Rothschilds, Rockefellers, DuPonts, and the motherfucking Bushes. Y'all don't know about the oldest Bush, Prescott. That's the great-granddaddy. He was a motherfucker. Okay, these guys put their money together, and they put the money together to fund Hitler's campaign. While they're currently controlling America, they put the money together to fund Hitler's campaign and put him in the power. And when he got too big for his britches, talking about, I'm finna come do something to y'all, pop, knocked his mom. You ain't finna do shit. We control you. Just that simple. So, this is who you dealing with. They control the money. They control the banking. They control all the bullshit. So until you discover how to create your own economy and then take what you build with your people and barter it, you will never be free. And there is no white boy cracking no clouds coming to get you, Negroes. And I know y'all be trying to say Jesus is black, but in your heart you don't believe that. You know why? Because a black Jesus would have never left us this long. Think about it. If this was a black Jesus that was all about black people, this story would have went different. But this is a white Jesus, so this story is benefiting white people, which means your ass gotta wait. You see how easy that is? Sometimes simplicity can be so simple. Knowledge is the only real power. Information is the only real currency. I love y'all. I'm gone.